Most of the household names in free agency have been scooped up already, but there's still a few areas that I think Joe Douglas could attack. Here are the top three free agents I think the Jets should still go after. Welcome to Jets Talk. My name is Ryan. I'll be your pilot today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Guys, the Jets have a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of holes on this roster, but I think we're doing a pretty good job. And you may not see any more of those big household names out there outside of like a Jadeveon Clowney or Robbie Anderson. Robbie, I'm hoping we get back. But I think some of the areas of concern for me, edge rusher, cornerback, guard. Yes, we have filled some of those positions. Brian Poole's back. We've signed 3 guys on the offensive line with Alex Lewis, McGovern, and Fant. I think there's some areas to improve upon. But I think there's options, still out there that I don't think we have to break the bank on. According to Over the Cap, now this is sort of loosely judged. I don't know if we know the full contract details of all these different signings, but I have the Jets at about $40 million in cap space. We can definitely still make more room because if you cut Darryl Roberts, you save $6 million. And if you cut Brian Winters, you save $7.5 million. So there's another, $13.5 million. So first up on my list is going to be Prince Amukamara, the cornerback from the Chicago Bears. Obviously, we know him from his time with the New York Giants, and he's actually played pretty well over the last 3 years. He's 31 years old, so a little bit longer in the tooth. Not great maybe in terms of keeping your speed and everything, but over the last 3 years, his pass coverage grades, 71.5, 77.1, and 70.5. So I would be okay with bringing him in. I think he's not going to cost you a whole heck of a lot of money. You put him maybe 1 year across from Bless Austin. You try to target outside cornerback in the draft, maybe in the 3rd round. I still want to hit offensive line and wide receiver, I think, in those top 2 rounds. But I think bringing in Amukamara could be a good option. I know Greenbean was talking about it on our Talking Jets panel, so that's sort of where I did a little more research into that, and I think that's probably a really smart decision. As far as the offensive line goes, I'd like to see us add another guard before we head into the draft, and 2 guys that have been coming up regularly in conversation have been Greg Van Roten, the Panthers guard, and Stefan Wisniewski. Ugh, sorry. My English is a little off right now. The guard from the Kansas City Chiefs. They're both 30 years old. Wisniewski is going to be a little bit more money than Van Roten, I believe, but Wisniewski has been consistent over the course of his entire career. You look at his Pro Football Focus grades, he's barely ever had a grade under 70 as 2 years that, under 70 grading. So he graded out as the 16th overall guard. I would definitely bring him in. I think you pay him a nice contract, maybe a 2-3 year deal. Offensive linemen, especially the guard position, can play a lot longer than maybe some other sort of positions. You don't have to be quite as fast. And I think when you cut Brian Winters $7.5 million, you could use that directly towards one of these 2 guards. So if you want to go maybe a cheaper route with Van Roten or maybe a slightly more expensive route with Wisniewski, I think those 2 guys are the players that I would probably look at to replace Brian Winters. Again, you could add more guys in the draft and have them compete, but I think plugging holes so that way you're not forced into a particular draft selection is probably a smart decision. In terms of pass rusher, this is where I've wanted this guy for a while, and it's not an over-the-top crazy thing. Like, I don't want Jadeveon Clowney. He's going to want $20 million a year. I've said it before when I did my F, Marry, Kill series. He had 50 penalties. I think the next closest free agent had about 24. And he's on the field for 75% of his snaps. Jadeveon Clowney has never had a 10-sack season. So as much as people might want the nice, big, flashy name of Jadeveon Clowney, I would like to see the Jets go after Vinny Curry. He's 31 years old. His pass rush grades have been very good over the course of his career. Two of the last 3 years, he's graded out as the best years of his career. He has the connection with Joe Douglas. He's not moving crazy far away. He's going from Philadelphia up to New Jersey. I think that's maybe a 3-hour drive. I could see him wanting to come over here. I hope he would want to play for Greg Williams. I'm really on board with whatever Greg Williams wants to do because I think he's smart enough at this point to decide anything on the defense. He has earned my full trust in that sort of way. Look, I still want an edge rusher. I don't know if we're going to be able to solve it this year. I don't think I want to go that direction in the draft, barring some type of 3rd round or maybe trade up back into the 2nd round type player. But Vinny Curry, I think, has another 2-3 years. I mean, heck, Cameron Wake is 38 years old. So for all we know, Vinny Curry could play another 6 or 7 years at a high level. Bring in the guy that maybe he's not going to be the edge setter that Jordan Jenkins was, but the Jets haven't had a pass rusher since John Abraham. So if you can get a pass rushing specialist that could generate a little more pressure on the quarterback, force him into some bad throws, that could help Bless Austin, Brian Poole, Prince Amukamara if we get him. It's going to help the whole back end of our defense. So generate pressure on the quarterback, sign guys that may not be crazy price, may not be overly household names, but I think these three players in Vinny Curry, Amukamara, and Wisniewski are the three players the Jets could add that would significantly improve this team without breaking the bank. And then it would still leave you some money to sign Robbie Anderson, potentially extend Jamal Adams if you wanted to throw some of his cap money into this season. Guys, let me know who you want down below in the comments. I'm sure by the time some of you watch this, some of these free agents are going to be gone. But let me know who you want down below. And as always, go Jets.